My name is Amanda. I am one of the Ambassador Animal Specialists here in the Education Department. We're bringing you a new zoo to you today that's featuring 3 of our animals that live in our Ambassador area. So you see I have a ball python here right now. We're going to talk about her in just a little bit, but I want to talk to you about what our topic is going to be today.
Okay, give it 1 minute for folks to kind of tune in.
For some people to tune in right now. Like I said, we're going to be featuring 3 different animals. You'll see one right here with me, our ball python. We're going to have a box turtle, and then we're going to have one of our other chinchillas join us today. All right, we got enough people, Amy? Awesome. So this lesson is going to be all about animal adaptations. So I want you guys to get involved in the talk today. So feel free if you'd like to share, add into the comments, and answer some of the questions that we're going to be asking you today. The first question I have for you is I want you guys to guess, or if you know, say what do you think animal adaptations are? I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to think about it and answer in the comments. Amy, one of the other Ambassador Animal Specialists, she's on the other end of the camera. She's going to be reading those answers out loud to me so we can have a little conversation about it. And then we're going to talk about different adaptations with the animals that we have here to talk about today. So feel free to add that into the comments. While we're waiting, feel free to get a good look at our ball python Dot. I'll bring her a little bit closer to the camera here. Alright, so if you guys had a chance to put into the comments what do you think animal adaptations are, then that's great. Let's talk a little bit about what it means. So animal adaptations are anything that the animal does behaviorally or any physical characteristics the animal has that helps them survive in their natural environment. So lots of different animals have so many cool and unique adaptations, alright? So the first ones we're going to talk about are for our ball python here, whose name is Dot. Dot, like I said, is a ball python that are native to Western and Central Africa. And when you want to think about an animal's adaptations, you want to think about what is their natural environment. So when you think of Western and Central Africa, you think of really hot weather, right? So that's what ball pythons like Dot are really used to. That heat is really important. And as a reptile, heat is also a really important thing for them to survive as cold-blooded animals, which means that if they need to get their body temperature warm, they need that warm environment to do that in, or if they need to cool down, they're going to need that cool spot. So here at Franklin Park Zoo, we offer that environment for them all year round, even though it is cold in New England. They have a nice indoor habitat with lots of heating for them to keep that warmth. But out in Africa, they have that natural environment to help them. But something really interesting about ball pythons that's super unique is they actually have these heat sensory pits that's located right on their face. I'm going to bring Dot a little bit closer to the camera so you can see. They kind of look like little holes, like right under or over their mouth right there. So those sensory pits are actually used so they can hunt in the nighttime. Now snakes are animals that don't really have a great sense of sight. So in the nighttime, when it's the best time for them to hunt, they use those sensory pits in order to sense out their prey. So they can actually feel the body heat of their prey through those pits. And that's a really great adaptation they have to survive in their natural environment. Snakes are also just really great at surviving in their natural habitat through other adaptations too. Something really unique about snakes is they have no feet or legs or anything like that. They have their nice slick bodies. And that actually really helps them slither around on the ground in order for them to find and catch prey and sneak up on them. So that's a really cool adaptation for these guys. Because the guys can fit in really tight small crevices, they can actually hunt different rodents in their homes into those nice small little dens. So this serves as a really good adaptation for their species in general, all right? So I'm going to put Dot back. Amy's going to help me with that right here. And while we're switching animals, I want you to think about what adaptations a turtle would have to survive in their natural environment. We're going to feature a box turtle here today who is native to Massachusetts. And they have really cool adaptations as well. So just think about that right now. Put your best guesses into those comments. And then we're going to talk about those in just a little bit. As we have our other box turtle come out, like I said, they are native to New England. They can be found all over these areas. They're also native to southern Canada and other parts of the United States. So they are very commonly found. Lumpy is found here at Franklin Park Zoo in our ambassador collection area, which is a really important part of our collection because we like to also showcase some native species, which is different from our ball python. All right, so this is my friend Lumpy here. As you can see, she is an eastern box turtle. If you have your guesses for what you think their adaptations are in the comments, thank you so much for adding those. I'm going to talk a little bit about those right now. So for turtles, their biggest protection, this shell right here, super important. Now something really cool that box turtles have that most turtles don't is they can actually stick their entire bodies into their shell and then close all the way up. So they have full protection from predators. That is a super important adaptation for a box turtle. That's important for their survival. They have a lot of animals that could potentially prey on them, and they wouldn't do so well if they didn't have that adaptation. Another one that is really cool is that these guys, just like Dot, will survive on heat, right? And I said these guys were native to Massachusetts. So these guys would need to have lots of heat even in the winter. So they have these instincts to bury themselves into the ground under dirt and leaf piles and go into a semi-hibernation for the winter time to keep them nice and warm. And that's a really important adaptation because if they're in the bare winter out and open, they wouldn't make it, they wouldn't survive. And that's a really important adaptation for these guys as well, being reptiles that are native to New England. So that's a little bit about these adaptations for our box turtles. I'm actually going to put Lumpy back.
Ooh, I have a
question?
couple questions about the box turtle. I had somebody ask from Martha, how big do they get?
This is how big they get right here. They're not going to grow any bigger. These guys can live up to 80 years out in the wild and under human care. And this is as big as they get.
All right, and a question from Param wants to know how long they can survive.
Like I said, about 75 to 80 years these guys can live, quite a long time. And these guys have been in our collection for quite some time as well.
Yep, and Michaela did ask what they like to eat, and she had worms, grass, mushrooms, and fruit. So those are all the type of things these guys will get. Really anything nice and easy they can find at ground level for them.
That's right. All right, am I good to put Lumpy back, Amy?
Yep, you're all set.
Okay. So as I get my next animal out, we're going to showcase one of our chinchillas. Now, I want you to think of some adaptations you think a chinchilla might have in their natural environment. As Turtle here gets accustomed to her study over here, it might take her some time. If you joined us for our Zoo to Use before, you might have remembered Normal. This is her sister turtle over here. She's getting her time in the spotlight today. Just a preface for you guys, she has the choice to go into her crate throughout this session, so if you see her do that at any point, that is totally fine. She has control over that. So, one really cool adaptation right here is their fur. So these guys are native to the mountains in Chile. That's a really important part of their adaptation. So they are very used to really rocky environments and cold weather. So this fur is so dense that there's actually 50 to 75 follicles of hair, or 50 to 75 pieces of hair on one follicle, whereas humans, you just have 1-to-1 ratio. So that is so much dense fur they have on them, which is incredible. It keeps fur, nice and fluffy and warm, is something called a dust bath. So that's what we have here for you guys to see. This is something, oh, that's okay, something natural for them, as you can see, as a natural prey animal. She can go and hide like that. And we have it here for you guys today. So Shrivel chooses to come into our dust bath. You'll see her roll in and take a really nice bath. And that's an adaptation they have for living in a really high up elevated area that doesn't have a lot of water. So we'll see if Shrivel gives that a try here. Another really cool adaptation, like I said, is these guys can live in lots of different small crevices on really high mountainous areas, which a lot of small mammals don't have the ability to do so. These guys are really good at living in those environments. So we like to provide nice and textured living conditions for these guys to live in too. That way their feet are adapted for that as well. You can see they actually have fur all over their bodies, and the only part that they actually don't need fur is on the bottom of their feet. And that's a really important adaptation for them as well, to live in those mountainous areas over here. So that's something really good for them. Another thing that they'll do is they'll actually get a lot of their water content from the food that they eat too. Lots of plant matter has water content in it as well. And that's what a lot of desert species will do as well, to stay nice and hydrated. Now, Amy, do we have any questions from the public at all?
No chinchilla questions at the moment. So if you folks have any questions, feel free to throw them right there in the chat and I'll read them out.
While we're waiting a little bit, just to elaborate a little bit more about Shrivel, she's about 10 years old. She was actually born at our sister facility, Stone Zoo. She lives here with her sister, where they spend lots of time together, either foraging, sleeping together, or nomming on some browse. That's some of their most favorite activities here. And of course, taking their dust baths, which Shrivel's thinking long and hard about right now. These guys also have those really large ears. Those are really important for them as well, so they can hear really, really well. These guys are what we call crepuscular, which means that they actually are up really early in the morning, right when the sun's about to rise, and that's when they're most active. And we definitely do see that with our chinchillas, although they do adapt to our time cycle because we usually feed them during the day when we're here at the zoo. So they're very adaptable living under human care.
All right, we've got a couple questions.
Great.
Param, this is Tribble, that's right here, that's hanging out with us. And then Martha was wondering how long they live and if they have, what kind of predators they have.
So predators usually consist of birds of prey, because those birds are going to fly really high up around those mountains and then prey below upon those chinchillas. Chinchillas can live up to about 10 years in their natural habitat, but in the wild can live anywhere from, anywhere in human care can live about 15 to 20 years. So Shrivell's doing really well here at the zoo, and she can definitely live a good amount more years with us. But she's made it to a really good age of 10 years old right now.
All right, and Kara asks if they're related to any other animals.
These guys are rodents, which means they are in the rodent family. One important thing of the rodent family, which means their teeth are always growing. So just like rats and mice, animals like that, they always need things to chew on, which is why we like to provide chew toys and lots of different browse for them to chew at all day long. So they are in that rodent family.
All right, and Georgine asks, how do they keep themselves clean?
That's a great question. So like I mentioned before, we do have this dust bath right here. It's just literally a bit of dust right here that we'll actually provide for them a few times a week, and they can roll around in it, and that's how they keep their dense fur nice and clean.
All right, and Melanie asks, do we find them in the wild here, or where would we find these guys?
Great question. So these guys are native to the mountains of Chile in South America. You cannot find these guys here in the U.S. in their natural environment. These guys are usually found in the pet trade, but something that we don't usually promote. These guys are really great living in zoo environments, but they are a lot of work to have as a pet, and their numbers aren't doing very great in their natural environments either. They are definitely considered an endangered animal. These guys were hunted for many years fluffy. And you saw the size of Tribble here. Imagine how many Tribbles would take to make a full coat. So that definitely has to do with the population that exists out in their natural environment.
All right, and one more question from Martha. Are they trainable?
Absolutely. So you can see here, we provide this space here for Tribble to decide if she wants to come out on the program. Right now, Tribble's deciding to stay in her crate, and that's totally fine. She has a choice to come out or not. Tribble's trained to touch the target here with her nose, and that's something that she's trained to do, and she's trained to voluntarily go in and out of her crate.
All right, Param had one more question. Do you see any ticks on their body? And that fur they have is actually so thick, it helps protect them from any kind of insects that live out in the wild. They suffocate in that fur, they can't survive, which is another great adaptation for that fur.
That's right. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another Zoo to You here at Franklin Park Zoo. Definitely check back tomorrow to see what we have in store. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we always love your support here, and have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.